Well, boys, what a long, strange trip it's been, but I am actually back. And I gotta say, let me get the chat up here so I can actually see this here. I gotta say, of course my mouse is already f***ing up. I'm 3 seconds into the first live stream. I gotta say that New Zealand is 100% the first place that I've been that I thought, yeah, I would totally live here. Like, the place itself was actually just fucking awesome. Yo, Minto, thanks for the tier 1. Matt with the tier 1. Darth Microtransaction gifting 3 months to Jim Tindo. Man, what a bro that guy is. Howstone with the tier 1. Broom with the prime. Thanks for subbing, boys. Good to see you again. King with the sub. And Dresden 5 days ago, even when I wasn't live with a bro. I'm back. Did I sleep in a Hobbiton hole? I don't know if the Hilton necessarily is a Hobbit hole. But I did check out the Hobbiton. I actually have some photos. I just spammed Jim with about 50 photos and some random videos and stuff from the trip. So I guess I gotta give you guys the full breakdown. Any jet lag? Yeah, it was 31 hours of travel. Okay, so I guess where we start? Just the beginning? I mean, what do you guys want to know first? I guess just the whole thing, huh? Okay, so from Alaska, you have to go Alaska to San Francisco to New Zealand. That's like the route you have to take. And first we got to the airport and it was like 5 hours to the flight. So that's 5. I'm just going to count the hours. So 5 hours to the flight plus an hour of drive. It's 6 hours. Then the flight to San Francisco was supposed to be 5 hours. It was actually fast. So it was like 4. Okay, so that's, what was that? 10 hours already. And then the layover was 4 hours, which was the shortest layover of the entire thing. And then that was 14 hours. Then the flight from San Francisco to New Zealand was another 13 hours. So what is that? 27 hours. And none of that includes driving. So I think by the time I like calculated it out and with the weights and the extra little minutes added together and all that, just to get to the place by the time I had like woken up in my bed from home in Alaska to then resting my head to getting to the place that we're staying in New Zealand was 31 hours. Something about that. 32 hours. Door to door, 32 hours, basically. Okay, it was about that long of travel. Now, the trip from Alaska to San Francisco is really not that bad. That's not a bad flight. It's just Alaska Airlines, normal seats. I mean, they're basically a seat like this, this is a little bit wider to give you an idea of the seat. It's a little wider than your average airline thing. It'd be more like, I think these go in or something. How's this? There you go. It'd be more like that, okay? They go in a little bit, so you got a little bit, I'm not exactly the biggest guy, but I'm not exactly the smallest either. I'm 6'1". And so, the seats, normal economy seats, it was all right. So that flight's not so bad. Now, the one to New Zealand, no first class upgrades. No, I did manage. There was like $500 a seat. And I thought, you know what? I'll surprise my girlfriend. And I got us on the way back from San Francisco to Alaska. I welled out a little bit and spent like, an extra $1,000 or something to get nice seats for the last 4 hours because we've been traveling a long time. I will admit to that, okay? But the rest of it was just economy the whole way. So that wasn't so bad. The San Francisco trip's not so bad. But then going San Francisco to New Zealand is 13 hours. And the plane's actually super, like it was Air New Zealand. It's actually super nice plane. But we're all the way in the back. And it really would not have been so bad because they have like TV screens and all that on the front of the chair, right? So you have like, they're decent little chairs. You got USB-C and you got normal USB, So that was all nice. But then, and you got movies, it's preloaded with movies, and so dumbass me, what did I do? I brought my iPad, I brought my my laptop, I brought my phone, and I brought like remember the thing I was taking notes on? I brought the notepad. And on the trip down there on Air New Zealand, I'm like, this is 13 hours, time to play some RuneScape, right? So I log in to play RuneScape, and apparently the only app that doesn't work is RuneScape because for some reason it detected it like it was a streaming service, and it's just like, you can't do this. So it wouldn't let me connect to the server. So no RuneScape all the way down there, unfortunately. So it was a 13-hour, what I would consider a raw dog 13 hours. Any 0.3 leaks? There is actually one 0.3 leak that you will be able to see. I recorded 5 interviews, but we're not there yet, okay? And let me continue through my thing. We'll get there, okay? So it was 13 hours and I wasn't able to play RuneScape. So, but that really wouldn't have been so bad. But I mean, the seats are like real close to you, right? And I'm a tall guy, so my knees are like into the seat for 13, like they're here for 13 hours, right? But then the guy in front of us, okay, and the guy in front of us was smart. He got the seats where there's no one in front of him. He has a wall, so they have like, they can put their feet out like this, right? I'm like, oh, that's smart. That was nice. So on the way back, I picked those seats because I didn't even think about that. But then for some reason, he felt the need on both of us to recline his seat. Yo, Hellstone with the 3 tier 1s. Thank you very much, sir. This man reclines his seat, and he's taking the real estate out of my kneecaps actively, okay? And he's a big boy, okay? Not to call him out, but so when he's pushing back and he's doing a lot of repositioning, it's bouncing this fucking chair. Like, you know how when you're leaned back, there's still some give? Like, that give was the problem. It wasn't the lean back that was the problem. It was the give that was the problem. So you're there, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And it's like, I have nowhere to go. I got nowhere to go. And I know he's feeling out, kick the seat inadvertently, because it's like, where the kneecaps go? They're just, they exist, right? So, I mean, it's just bouncing against the knees. It's like, bro, you might as well sit in my fucking lap if we're going to do this the whole way, my dude. So I unironically ended up sitting like this for 13 hours. I took my feet, because I actually couldn't fit there, and I sat on the chair, feet like this, like I do sometimes in this chair, like a fucking monk, and just meditated my way out of the thing. Good Lord, dude. So let me tell you, that 13 hours was actually that one was brutal. that was not an easy. It was way better on the way back though, because on the flight back, I was smart enough to pick the seats that were in the fire lane. So there was no one in front of us and reclining in seats and needs to be bent. Look, if I ever get elected president of like airlines or whatever, that is the first fucking thing that will go. Like the ability to recline your seat. I mean, this is not much of a recline, dude. I mean, you think, okay, maybe he's reclining like that. You know, you think it's like that. Okay, it's like, all right, you know, a little bit of an inch. But imagine you're right here. Okay, your face is a good 6 inches from this. The recline is like this. I mean, it is a significant recline. So, I mean, you are really taking it out of that person behind you real estate. So I never, after sitting there, it's like, I will never recline a seat in anybody ever. Like that's absolutely got to be the worst, probably the worst social etiquette I've ever seen in my life.
Hello, motherfucker.
Just be not so tall that solves it. I guess so. But then anyway, because then you can't even eat because the thing's bent over. It's a whole thing. Anyway, whatever. So on the way back, it was a million times better because we picked the seats that had nothing in front of it, and I was able to just stretch out. And that was I literally slept for the first time in my life on a plane. I was able to sleep like 6 hours to turn this down the music a little bit. So the way back was like way better. Okay, I arrived Sunday. The morning of Monday, I was supposed to like go to work. You know what I mean? Like my first day on the job, or what you want to call it. We actually visited the studio. And this is where like the part of the trip that I expected was just completely the opposite of what actually happened. Like I thought for sure that when I got there would be like some kind of agenda or some kind of like hey DM, welcome to the studio, here's the community manager, they're gonna walk you on the tour, then here's what we have planned out. There was literally fucking none of that. I never even met the community team. I have no idea who the community manager is, which is wild to say when you're visiting like a studio, because normally that shit is 100% guided. Like when you go there, yikes, trust me, it's not yikes. This is the cool part. Sounds bad. No. You don't get the wrong impression. I'm not giving you. Wait for the rest of it. It is a cool thing because when I arrived, I was like, all right, so what am I here to do? What do you guys want? And Jonathan told me, he's like, oh, nothing. And I was like, what do you mean nothing? He's like, oh, we thought it'd be cool. Welcome. And I was just like, are you shitting me? Like, what, am I supposed to be doing something? He's like, no, I just thought you'd be a cool guy to talk to. You know, you were interested, you were interested in music and art. And, you know, here's a key to the office. Have fun, boy. And I was like, are you kidding? You're giving me a key? So he's like, yeah, just, you know, that's that guy. That's that guy. And so I was like, are you kidding me? He's like, no, just go have fun. And so I just start walking around like bugging random fucking people. Like, so what do you do? You know? And there's a couple guys that knew me, but most of the people were just like, oh, yeah, so I'm an artist. You know what I mean? Which was fucking hilarious because it was like everyone's working. It was like I was in an office. It was like going to like a call center or something. Like everyone's just at their desk working. And then here comes little old DM, like with his notepad full of notes, like, hi, I'm Casey. Like, can you tell me what you do? Literally, that was the entire thing. So I'm who was the first person I talked to? Oh yeah, so I talked to Steven. Shout out to Steven. And he was the guy who makes map layouts. So I just kind of sat there and like, tell me about making map layouts. And then it ended up becoming like the most organic way to actually learn behind the scenes. Yo, White Mike, thank you for the tier 1. Avro with the Prime. Taka with the tier 1. The Office IRL. And there was actually what it was. Because I'm sitting down there and I'm just like, tell me about what it's like to make maps. And then instead of it being like this weirdly awkward, like prepared thing, he's just like, yeah, like, well, here, I'm making the map now, you know, he's just like showing you like, so here's me like making the map and, you know, you got to do this and you got to do that. And then what I found was like everyone there that works has like another environment that they work with that is like super in tandem with them. So most of the time there's like a duo. And I saw this all the time while you're around the office. It's going to be, if you have questions, you can just ask me because I'm trying to figure out how to explain this because there was no like, it's so non-linear. I was just walking around talking to everybody. It's hard to explain the office, all right? But I'm going to try to, maybe I'll pull a paint or something to try to break this down. I tried to do a flow chart and it was just fucking impossible while I was there. I was like, how do I explain this? But it's like a beehive. Like everyone's just running around talking to everybody. I guess that's a good spot to start. Let's see, let me get paint on the screen. So I'm gonna try to walk you guys through the office of how it actually works. Because I think that's like the most interesting part of all of it. It's like what it's actually like to work there. Let's see here. I'll give you a layout of what the office works. So the first thing is there's 240 people that work in the office, okay? And the part that I did not expect was it's not like a big campus or anything. It's just, okay, there we go. That should fit. I'm just getting paint here to work, so I'm gonna draw you like a map of the office, okay? So you guys can kind of see what I'm working with. But I didn't expect. It's not a big campus, so it's 240 dudes in the office, and that includes like the call center or whatnot that takes like customer support stuff. And apparently they got all the customer support. Like the queue is back finished. They hired a shitload of more people, etc. And that's supposed to be back on track. Let's see here. Okay, so let me, can I do it like this? Let's see, this might work. And I have some photos and videos and shit to show. Okay. Okay, so it's like this. Is this white? What color is this? White? Okay, here we go. So, the cat's on the mouse. Oh my god, the mouse is full of hair again. Hold on. I gotta get the mouse where I can actually draw with this. Should I got on the map, dude, to make you an office map? That actually would have been fucking brilliant. You're better at this than I was. It was very, it's like I was very thrown off because I wasn't prepared just to have the keys to the kingdom. Like, and the thing is they said you can grab anyone you want and throw them into an interview. So while you're there, just like find guys you want to talk to and be like, hey, we're gonna get you on camera now. But like I was like, I don't want to just like grab random guys, and like the way I introduce myself is like in front of the camera. So I ended up talking. I'd go around and talk to anybody for like an hour or so and kind of get the vibe of them and what they do. And then I'd be like, do you want to sort of repeat this conversation, but on camera now that you're, you know, a little bit more familiar, that I'm not just a random ass. So, yo, Malistron with the 10 tier 1s. Thank you for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tier 1 gifted subs. I appreciate that. But we did actually find, there was a total of 7 people I was able to get on camera we did interviews. Ended up being 5 total interviews. Audio, music, environmental, map design, and then 1 interview that's about 0.3 that won't be released until after they release their official announcement on it. A couple, I know you guys are wondering, so a couple quick things about 0.3 that I can say, which is 1, there's actually no NDA. I'm just not gonna be an asshole, so I'm not gonna leak anything or whatnot. But they did allow there is one technical there is actually 1 leak in one of the interviews. No NDA. Well, yeah, I was surprised. I was like, "Do you guys want me to sign NDA or anything?" He's like, "No, just just don't be a piece of shit." More or less, I'm paraphrasing here. They're not exactly that explicit with it, but they're just like, be like a human, basically. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna honor that. I'm gonna honor that. There is one leak in one of the interviews that I was like, hey, just so you know, this guy says this in this interview. Do you want me to cut it out, as it is technically a 0.3 like spoiler of some new stuff that's coming? And they said no, it's fine. So if you watch the interview with the environmental and art people, there you will get 1 little small confirmation of something that is coming. That is the most spoiler you can get out of me. And other than that, the other spoiler I would tell you is that I actually recorded a voice line for a monster. I got along real great with the audio people. And the audio people were just hilarious. I mean, what you expect? Like, half of them are in a fucking band together. They're just chill, dudes with long hair like me, right? And I was there, and they said some jokingly like, "Oh, we should get you a recorded voice for a monster or something." And I was like, before I left, I told my girlfriend that I will do anything to get a voice line in the game. And so they let me record a monster line. When I said yes, I would absolutely love to do that. Then I spent like an hour recording voice lines, or I say voice lines, but really it's growling. Let's be honest, like attacks and stuff. And just about blew out my throat. And that actually made it into the game. And that can be leaked. Let me see. I actually have the voice lines here. Okay, here. So he actually processed it and sent me the audio of that. So this is here's your 1 leak. Are you guys ready? You guys can get all of 0.3 out of this little leak. Here's a sound effect from a monster coming to the game. And that's just me. That goes on for like 2 minutes. Okay, just random sound effects for different attacks. Okay, so that's me going like or whatever, right? There you go. So now you guys know all of 0.3. Let's hear it, play it out. Okay, all right. It's just kind of more of the same. Okay, it's a little cringy, but here you go. So that's like, okay, that's me. That will be the monster. Your boy officially in Path of Exile 2. Boom. Also, after talking, I was talking to, what was his name? So I was talking to Fabian, and I was saying that he's one of the environmental guys over there. Great guy. And he knows RuneScape also. So I was talking about, there is a design and unique that I get to do. You guys remember the Valdo's puzzle box? So if you don't remember Valdo's puzzle box, let me just show it to you guys real quick. Get everyone on the same page. So remember this? This was a promotion they did before the launch of PoE 2, in which inside is a random code. 90% chance to get a divination card, 10% chance to get a design your own unique. And I asked when I was there, because I wanted confirmation. I was like, I'm not really sure. I was like, did you guys spoon feed me the unique design? Because it's only a 1 in 10. But apparently, it's 100%. I got lucky as fuck. So if you were one of the people that got the design unique, you actually got extremely lucky, because it was truly like randomized out to the people. But anyway, the point being that we get to design a Path of Exile 2 unique from that promotion, like forever. Asmon never saw this, really? From forever ago, we actually get to design one of those. And I was talking about wanting to do because I've kind of had this concept where I wanted to do like a RuneScape party hat, or like a blue party hat or something in the game. But then Fabian had he's like, you should do it where it's just they drop in different colors, so you get all like 7 of the colors of the party hat can drop. So you like try to collect the set. And I was like, that's a cool idea. Like, I like the idea where it can drop as blue, yellow, whatever. And maybe it doesn't even have any stat associated with it. It's just a collector's unique that can drop. And he was like, well, you could have a drop where it only drops from like Miller or something, like the first mob. But then they kind of don't like the dropping from the first thing, the first boss, where it comes with issues. So I was like, well, here's an idea. What about if instead it only drops on the first day of the league? So what happens is the first day of the league is when party hats will actually drop. And then after that, they no longer drop through the league. So it's exactly like RuneScape back in the day where party hats would drop on the first day. You can get them. And then the amount of them will only ever become less because they're only from the first day forward. You see what I'm saying? And they have no stats. So it's not a power thing. It's just a collector's idea. And it exactly mirrors the concept of party hats from RuneScape. And so the idea is maybe you try to want to collect all of them. And it's like a tier 0 unique, doesn't do anything, but it's a collectible. So I don't know if they're actually going to add that or not. Stupid idea. Well, you're a stupid idea. I like my idea. Thank you very much. Okay, so back to this here. Okay, here we go. So the office layout. How do I describe this? Okay, so the middle. Let's start with the middle. This is like John and Mark's office. So you have Mark here. You have Jonathan here. It's basically how this works. And the reason they're in the middle is because kind of surrounding like the entirety of the office is desks, okay? Like there's all these desks like this. I guess that's probably a bad representation. It's more like this, actually. Let's see if I can remember how this works. Like, so you have like, this is like the office here. And you have these desks and people are sitting like this, right? Okay, it's like this, and then you also have desks like here. And then you have people sitting here, like this, and then you have more desks like this. And then you have a row of people like here, like this. So you have sort of like a surrounding, and over here is like the lunch table, etc. What a wasted opportunity. Brother, I'm not going to spoil all of 0.3. The only thing you said in chat is like, give us game information. Like, obviously I can't see, like, here's all of 0.3. Let me just leak fucking everything. Like, wait for them to actually launch the information. It's not a wasted opportunity. I have a whole interview about 0.3 already recorded. You're just not going to get it all right now. Calm down. So you have Mark and Jonathan here. And the way that it kind of works is you'll have like the different departments sort of sitting next to each other that interact with each other. So you'll have like environmental and map layout, right? Like this, where they just kind of like constantly interact with each other. And then you have like, I talk to the animators, I talk to visual effect people. And I would say, and then upstairs, let's see, like you have upstairs up here is, this is like stairs, right? Upstairs you have like audio, and then downstairs you have like a separate interview room. And so the part that surprised me the most is they like don't do meetings at all. Are they even discussing PoE 1 or only PoE 2 focused? No, I mean there's like plenty of guys there that like only play PoE 1 and stuff too. Like it's like normal humans. You have people that like PoE 2, you have people that like PoE 1, you have people that work on both, you have people that only work on one or the other. It's just, they don't really like meetings because they think if you have something you to say to somebody else, just walk over and say it to them. Like, and the biggest, how to put it, the biggest impression I got from the whole thing was that there's basically no sense of like bureaucracy or red tape or anything. It's just, if you have an idea, it just goes up and they just talk to each other. Zachy also mentioned they rarely do a meeting. That must be their new interview. I haven't seen the new one yet. We're going to watch it still in the recent dev interview. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. We're going to watch that one. I know you can't say anything about next season, but from what you saw, you're excited for it? Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for it. Did you go to Hobbiton? I did go to Hobbiton, actually, as a matter of fact. I have some photos of that. Let me pick through these. I have a bunch of... Okay, so let me show some of the photos here. I got to be careful about this because I don't want to open the wrong thing. Okay, here is... Okay, here's the beach. Check that out. This was maybe an hour away from where we were staying. We went and checked this out. This is a black sand beach there. It was pretty nice. What else do I have here? Here's another photo. It's absolutely beautiful there. That's literally a star PoE 1. Yeah, basically. I mean, this is where you wake up here. The problem is I've been on the beach like plenty of times in PoE 1, so this was a little bit of a PTSD moment for me. This is the same beach next to the rock. I just took this photo for my dad so he could get a sense of scale, because my dad loves big rocks and shit like that. Okay, this is me and the girlfriend on the way to Hobbiton. We did go check out the Hobbiton. So would you say they're very aware of community feedback, or do you have some ideas, feedback, surprise them? Absolutely. Like, the people there are acutely aware. Like, there's basically nobody there that's just like, oh, I don't know what game we're making. I'm just making, like, the rocks for it. Like, everyone there, like, is very familiar with the game, community sentiment, what they're building. Most of the people I talk to have, like, 1,500 to 2,000 hours minimum in the game. How to say this without saying shots at our companies? No one there is, like, just clocking in. Does that make sense? Like, the people know what they're doing. So this is Hobbiton. There you go. Some of what was weird is the Hobbit doors were not all like the same size. It's not like to a certain scale. It's depending upon what they're doing. So some of the Hobbit places were very, very, very large. Like large enough to actually go in. And some of them were like half the size of that. I think the largest one was like 83% scale or something like that. And some of them were like half. Let's see, there should be more of these. Okay, there's another one. What else do we got here? Here's another one for you. Here's another one. That was for the forced perspective filming. Yeah, they had a tour guide that's kind of explaining it. Here's a good one that kind of shows you the whole... This is the whole layout, basically. That's what Hobbiton itself actually looks like. It was a super nice day when you went there. We got apparently very, very lucky from what I hear. The entire time I was there, we were there just over 7 days. And the entire time we was there, it didn't rain. We had fog one day, and other than that, it was blue skies. How cold was it there? I think this day was probably like 45 degrees Fahrenheit. It would get a low of like 35 degrees Fahrenheit and a high of like 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was kind of somewhere in between there, but I guess it was unusually nice weather for the time that we were actually there. Is that as beautiful in person as it was in the movies? You know, the Hobbit, I don't know if you're talking about New Zealand in particular or Hobbiton, but the Hobbiton was basically not what I expected. The Hobbiton was way, way, way more vertical. It was not... like this makes it look flatter than it was, and this is me standing on top of the hill. Like they have a big hill, and they're like built almost on top of each other, which was not what I thought. Like I thought it was going to be like much more open and like rolling hills, and that is as flat as it gets there. And that was just looking this way, but it's basically a giant hill. Not a lot of space there. Yeah, if you've been there, yeah, you're aware. But so that part was a little. It was cool. I don't want to say it was disappointing, but the zoo was way cool. I actually have photos of the zoo. I'll show you. The zoo was fucking wild, by the way. The zoo that was in Auckland would never happen in the U.S., and I'll explain why. But the zoo, both shocked me and the girlfriend when we were there. It's like, I can't believe this is how this works. Okay, here. Let's see what's next here. Okay, oh yeah, so this is the actual one from the movie, right? They have hobbits at the zoo? No hobbits at the zoo, unfortunately. We did get scammed that way. Okay, so there's that. Here's a better one to give you a sense of scale a little bit. There you go. This photo I posted on Twitter. What else do we have? This is the party business sign. This was inside one of the Hobbit holes. You actually can go inside one of the Hobbit holes, and it looks sort of like this. It's like 83% to scale, so like I have to duck a little bit. I'm a little too tall for it, but it was actually quite nice on the inside there. And then this is kind of going more towards the inn. And the inn is straight ahead, and they had like beer for you. And I never got carded once. They just give you beer, which was great. I guess they just believe you. And this is kind of like walking over. This is walking over the actual, bridge there towards the green. Was it Green Dragon's Tavern or something like that? This is pretty cool. A couple photos of that there. That was the most beautiful spot of it. And then that's kind of Hobbiton. Now, Hamptonism with tier 1, thanks, sir. 5'3" was too high. I'm 6'1", thank you very much. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is exiting the Glowworm's Cave. So there's not too many photos of this because you couldn't really take photos inside until they say you can. So it's like a holy spot for them or something for the local people. So they don't let you take photos. But I was able to take photos going out of it. There's like a cave that has these worms that it's kind of creepy. Like the worms, they attach to the roof and then they extend saliva down, and the saliva grabs like flies and shit, and then it sucks it back up like it's fucking alien, which is just like pretty fucking creepy, to be quite honest with you. But they also glow blue. So the entire, here you go, here's the entrance to the cave, for instance. So the entire cave, like on the inside there, they had like blue LEDs basically on the roof, only they're low glowworms. So that was pretty interesting. And here's inside the actual cave. Can't see shit. Like things from Half-Life. Yeah, basically. I thought it was just super dark for a second. Well, it's completely pitch black inside the cave itself. What was funny is when you're in the... Okay, so in one section in the cave, they're cannibal worms, right? Yeah, they are cannibal worms. Yeah, they eat themselves. When you're inside the cave, there's one part that is like big and open, and I guess it has perfect acoustics. So they always ask for like, hey, is there anyone who's a singer here that wants to sing a song? And one lady in our group of like 10 people happened to be a retired opera singer. I shit you not. And so she gave an opera singing performance in the middle of this cave, and I was like, holy shit, you gotta be kidding me. She was insanely good, obviously. And so the lady who was the tour guide was like, normally I ask if anyone else wants to go, but it's like no one there wants to follow that. And everyone was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to follow that up. You want that exact tour? It's amazing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I actually thought like the saliva from the worms were cooler than them glowing. Personally, I thought that was like a super interesting way to eat stuff. But like, anyway, so that was that. Okay, so now let's talk about the zoo, because the zoo is like, I cannot believe this is the American like lawsuit part of my brain of me. But when I was walking around the zoo, I could not fucking believe that this is how the zoo works. Like the animals, I shit you not, are just there. Like they're not, okay, the tigers and shit are like enclosed, but the other animals, there is the equivalent of a stick between like you and a rhinoceros. I mean, they're just there. Like, this is not zoomed in, by the way. This bird, I could have reached down and poked him in the eyeball. It's like, it was unbelievable for me that this was even a thing. Because when you're to the birds, they have like it's like an aviary. You get to go inside the thing, and then the birds are just like flying around. So there was this kid, we got unlucky, and it was like school day or something when we were there. Now you can't have that in America? Dude, a million people would have been eaten if this was America. Like, so there's kids, like, everywhere in this fucking park. And there was a kid, like, throwing his fucking coat at this thing. And, like, he's, like, an inch from just nailing this bird. And this bird has the biggest set of stones on him of all time. He did not flinch once. He's just staring the kid down. He's just staring him down. The kid's like, like, trying to throw shit at the bird. And the birds didn't even fucking move. They're just like, yeah, we deal with this every day. It was insane. It was insane to me how close I mean, I literally could have poked this dude in the eyeball. Like, he was, like, as far from me as, like, my monitor. It's like, this is unbelievable. So that was super cool. It's not just the birds. Like, as we get through these photos here. Let's see, what's next here on this? Okay, this one is crazy. This is the rhinoceros, okay? Let me download it. Like, the rhinoceros is actually just fucking insane. Okay, here, let me pause this real quick. Okay. I want to pause this for a second, and so you can really understand what's happening right here. Like, if you're from the States, you're going to know why this freaked me out. That fence in Alaska wouldn't hold a dog in. Okay, I mean there are bigger fences to hold a chihuahua in than this fucking rhinoceros. I mean, he's right there. Now, unless there's some invisible something I don't see, like you can kind of see down here, there's like a thin wire, and maybe that shit is the voltage is cranked to God, and it would fry Jesus or something. Like, unless there is an insane amount of voltage on that wire, I was looking at this thing like the meme, like I'm in danger. Like it is unbelievable. That's a fucking Pokemon, like just right there, and I could have hopped this thing and tried to ride him. This would never happen. This would never happen in the US. Kids would be stamped out 10 times a day, bare minimum. There'd be some drunk asshole who would hop the fence and try to ride them. Like 100% they would have. It was unbelievable. I'm like, this fence is cosmetic only. And they're just, now it looks like there's a bit of a gully. I mean, unless these things can't walk down like a handicap accessible level of ramp, I don't know what the fuck is keeping this thing in there. Like, it was insane to me. And that's a goddamn rhino. Like, the amount of faith that they have in this rhino just really not having a bad day is insane. Is like absolutely insane. So like this was just this was a consistent theme. It's a calm animal. I don't care. The thing weighs more than a tank. Like I see this and I'm just thinking like that, dude, this is like, how is this actually a thing? Is that cool or what? I don't know if you can even hear me. I didn't bring my master ball, unfortunately. Yeah, you kind of can't hear me. So that was okay. So that's mind blowing to me. Like I couldn't believe that when I saw that. I was like, this would literally never happen in America. Like this, if this was America, this would have this would be a glass wall. On the other side of it would be 3 layers of electric fence, and you'd have a guard with a machine gun in the corner. Like they would never trust this dude. So that was wild to see. And this kind of theme just continues. Like here's just a bird. He's just out and about, just chilling. Oh yeah, and you know what was even more hilarious is in the zoo. Okay, like here's another. I don't have like all of the photos. I wish I had taken a little bit more photos, maybe. But a lot of them are me and my girlfriend. I'm just not gonna show you guys those ones. Okay, so here's the giraffe. There was giraffes and zebras and all that shit. And they're just hanging out. Like you can see people look up here. There's just like a rail. Like a little kid could just decide to like launch himself over this thing. I mean, that part it's just anyway. I mean, that was a constant thing. I'm just mind blown about this. I'm just impressed you can wear all those layers, bro. I mean, it's like in Fahrenheit, it was like 40 degrees Fahrenheit or something. So it's pretty chill, but like also like comfortable. So that's that was I mean, this whole thing was this way. Oh yeah, and then the lions, speaking of like, I can't believe that, I can't believe these fences. You know what the protection is against the fucking lions? The lions have this goalie, but then it's just water, and there's a little bit of like a stone wall here. But then I guess they're guessing that the lions can't swim into climb combo, because if a lion could cross the water and then climb, I think, about a 3-foot stone wall, they're just free. They're just roaming around with the little children. Like it's crazy. It's actually just fucking nuts. I guess they can't. I guess they've defeated them and managed to figure out a way to defeat like lions, because like that gap was probably a good 8 feet of water across. So I mean, they would have to swim a bit and then climb the wall. But I mean, dude, there was nothing stopping that fucking lion from just launching himself. IRL arena. So here, one other thing is, okay, so I don't know if you can see it here. You kind of can't. Yeah, you kind of can't see these. Okay, but like there is these throughout the zoo. There's huge ass trees like covering the walkways and everything, right? And they actually have like a system that allows the fucking monkeys to like swing around. There's actually a sign that says, if a monkey is above you, don't stand underneath them. So you could have like a goddamn orangutan just swinging his ass like over, you know, it's just insane, dude. It's just, you know, unbelievable. But you know what? I guess you can just have that in some places. It's pretty fucking cool. Not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. Okay, and then what else do we do here? So that's that. Oh yeah, maybe you guys will recognize this one. This is the Weta workshop. So we checked out the Weta workshop, and they do like, I mean, obviously there's Alien there. They did like Lord of the Rings. They did Borderlands. I got some pretty good photos of this. Let's see here. What's this next one here? Oh, another photo of another giraffe. Just kidding. We're back to the giraffe live stream. There you go. And then we have, here's some more photos. I wonder if, did I send the really good one? There's one, let's see, I have even more photos. Let me see if I can get the really good one over here. Because there's this really cool part I wanted to show you guys. They have like mottos and fantasy shit that's just fucking awesome. Let's see, where is it here? I think it was, hold on, wait for it, I'm looking for it. Okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, here, I'm gonna send these. Sending these, I'm doing this the most shenanigans way. I'm sending it to Jim in the Discord, and then I'm pulling it up on the live stream. Okay, there we go. All right, and then I can pull this up here. Oh yeah, here's another. They have all these cool mottos. Check that out. That's pretty good, right? And then they have all this shit here. And then let's see, where's the video? I have some videos to show you. Okay, let's see, download. Should be this one.
Dad, come through here.
Okay. Here you go. So this is pretty cool here.
Come through here.
So there's like this giant diorama that they use to like shoot a movie or something. And this thing is huge, right? There's just people fucking everywhere. And you're standing kind of in the middle of it. I'm a little bit zoomed in here. I didn't do the best job like taking video, to be fair, but like it's pretty well done. It kind of looked like WoW. It reminded me like orcs versus elves or something. There's your boy on the throne, which is pretty cool. They have the giant throne here, and they have a little thing like takes a photo of you and then you pay for it. But I was just like, hey, I own a phone, so why don't you just do the phone? And then let's see, what else do we have here?
Dad.
Okay, that's that one. There's another video here. Which one's this one? Okay. Oh yeah, this is pretty cool. This is just like, this is to give you an idea of like the scale of it. Just walking through here is pretty cool. It's pretty big. So that was pretty great. Oh, here's, let's see, what's this one? Oh, this is me in the sound booth, recording monster sounds. I had to tuck my hair in, so that way my hair isn't, like, blowing into the microphone. All right, on to the next photos here. So that was the Weta workshop, which is pretty great. Oh, then there was afterwards, there's, like, a workshop thing where you make something. Does anyone know what this is? Maybe you can, or maybe I can get a better photo. Hold on, there's a couple of these. Oh, this was really cool, too. Hold on, check this out. So they have, like, They had a horror, a futuristic, and like a fantasy one, and this was like this robot. Okay, and then here's me holding my diorama. If you can actually tell what this is. So this is you make shit out of like tinfoil and coloring, and this was the wilderness in RuneScape. I was trying to make the way there's a runite rock right there. So this was kind of like a little workshop you do afterwards. You take like tinfoil and you crunch it down. Honestly, I don't care about hiring with you guys. This was pretty lame. I mean, like, it was cool, but like also I had fun doing it, mostly because I was hanging out with my girlfriend, and it was a cool idea. But you quite literally you pay like $90 to sit in a room, and they hand you a bunch of like recycled garbage. Like they hand you, here's some tinfoil. And then they give you water paints, and they're like now make something. And you have some guy who's just like, yeah, so you can crunch up the tinfoil, and then it looks like crunched up tinfoil, and now you can paint it. And I'm kind of like, okay. So, like, that was, you know, I had fun with it, but, you know, I made a little RuneScape thing here, but they give you an hour, and they're kind of rushing you. They're like, okay, 15 minutes, like, you have 15 more minutes of crunching tinfoil. So that part was, I was a little bit like, all right, well, I mean, come on, guys. Like, they give you hot glue guns and tinfoil and a piece of cardboard, and they literally say, like, here you go, congratulations. So I think I kind of expected maybe a little bit more, but then again, like, this is like a kid's workshop, I think, more than anything. So yeah, it's hard. It was hard to hate on it. Like, these are all these images here. So there's me painting, right? There's this was pretty cool. This was sort of like the art for the futurist, the robot. Oh, there you go. Here's the diorama, a little bit better photo of the diorama. Wish I was better at taking photos. I'm kind of dog shit taking photos. But this is the, you know, this thing's probably like 12 feet tall or higher. That was pretty good. Oh yeah, there's also a video of me in the, there's more, I have more zoo stuff if you want to see more zoo stuff. But this is kind of a rundown of like the basics of the trip. So there was that, and then this was more or less the highlight of the trip, I think, was probably the zoo. The Hobbiton was cool, but I think the zoo was probably better. Like, the cave was all right. The zoo was just, like, fucking wild. The Weta workshop was pretty good. The tour guide was struggling in the Weta workshop, because what happened was, in the first bit of they have a guy who comes out and, like, does the tour, and he's done like hundreds of them, and he was like really, really good at doing it. But then there's a part where he asks the kids, like, hey kids, do you have any questions? And, you know, it's full of like all kinds of random like art stuff. And, you know, it's obviously a tour that's like meant for parents and kids. So, you know, there's a lot of kid stuff in it. And they had this big poop in the corner, like a fake poop in the corner. And one of the kids during the questions goes, how long did it take to squeeze that out? And like points at the giant poop. And, the tour guide just lost it. He says he's done hundreds of tours, and like no one has ever asked that question before, and he couldn't get back on track. It ruined the entire tour for him. He kept laughing, he'd be sitting there like recovering for like 30 seconds, and then he would just like start crying, laughing, and he'd be like, I can't. And so that was probably the highlight of the tour, because he got stun locked pretty hard, yeah. It was actually pretty funny, to be honest. And this was pretty cool. The gift shop was nice. They had a bunch of stuff I could have bought there, but it's like, you know, I'm traveling from New Zealand. Like, what the hell am I going to do? Are you going to play Grounded 2 that comes out tomorrow? I didn't know Grounded 2 comes out tomorrow. I played a bit of the first one. I thought the first one was pretty good. We are going to play, you know what we're going to try out today? Is there's a new ARPG that launched like 2-3 days ago. Recently, there was a new one that launched recently that I didn't get a chance to play while I was gone, called Hell Clock. So we're gonna check out the new ARPG today as well, once we're kind of done talking about everything in Jimro. Where's the 40k figurines? I actually have good question. I actually have one of those photos. I'll pull that up. Into the meerkats. Okay, here you go. So this is,
okay, you want to talk first before you go?
okay, going into the meerkats. All right, here you go. So this is going to the meerkats. This was actually pretty fun. Okay, yeah, pretty hard to see. But you can see I'm inside there, the meerkats. All right, that one's it's impossible to see. I guess that one's impossible to see. On to the next one here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, okay, so here is cheetahs. Look at that, ain't that cool? Wow. The cheetahs are like right there.
Bro, I've seen Brian and Benno racing cheetah in Cape Town.
So this and the tigers were the only animals that were actually behind anything. Like behind glass or something. It was these are the only ones that are actually like locked behind something. Pretty much everything else was just more or less just in the open. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is like I don't know what the fuck this one was called. I forget. It's like a cat, but it's a half cheetah, half cat. I don't know. That one's pretty cool. What else is there here? Circle of life out here. That was the other thing. A lot of them were mixed together. So it was like zebra next to giraffe, and they're just chill, I guess. That's pretty cool. Let's see what else is there. Hold on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those are the new ones. And then... Okay, so now, let's see. Some guy was asking about the audio here. Yeah, so I did get to record for Monster. It did get processed. And this is what it sounds like. So if you hear this... then you know you're killing me. And I will be all over the place probably shouldn't say that. I will be in the game. You will for sure be able to find me.